4 years. That's how long it took for my revenge to ripen. And tonight, it was served at my father's funeral. The air reeked of lilies and loss, but her perfume cut sharper than grief. She leaned in, her lips curved into that venomous smirk I knew too well. "Poor you," she whispered, her voice dripping satisfaction. "Still single at 38? I got the man, the money, the mansion." Her words stung, but I only smiled. Not the bitter smile of defeat, the calm smile of a woman who knows her enemy has already lost. I turned my head slightly, voice steady. "Have you met my husband?" When I called him over, her smirk collapsed, her hands trembled. And I knew the moment I had waited for had finally arrived. He was mine first. Daniel. The perfect man, wealthy, charming, with a kind of confidence that felt unshakable. I believed in him, trusted him, and when he slid that diamond onto my finger, I believed in us. I didn't see it at first, how she lingered too long in conversations, how her laughter rose a little higher when he spoke. She was my sister, my only blood. I mistook betrayal for sisterly warmth. Then came the silence, the unanswered calls, the business trips that never added up. I found the text messages one night, her name lighting up his phone with words no sister should ever send. My world collapsed in an instant. She wasn't just taking him, she was taking everything I had built, everything I had trusted. But I didn't scream. I didn't confront them. I shut the phone, placed it back exactly where I found it, and walked out with my heart pounding against my ribs. That night, I made a vow. I wouldn't destroy them in anger. I would destroy them with precision. Sharpens the silence. While they flaunted their new life, my fiancé, my future, my dreams, I played the long game. I studied. I waited. I learned the legal cracks in their mansion's foundation. Daniel wasn't as untouchable as he looked. His business was leveraged to the teeth, built on illusions of wealth. And she had no idea. I invested quietly, strategically, bought stakes in companies he depended on, secured connections in places she could never reach. My silence was my weapon, my patience the blade I sharpened daily. 3 years passed. On the surface, I was the forgotten sister, the one they pitied. Behind the scenes, I was dismantling his empire one thread at a time. I watched their debts grow, their fights spill into whispers at parties. She wanted more. He gave less. And then, when the timing was perfect, I made my move. Through lawyers and silent partners, I acquired controlling interest in his prized company, the one that kept their lavish life afloat. Overnight, his power crumbled. His investors turned, his accounts bled, and his so-called empire collapsed into ash. And she? She thought she married into a kingdom. Instead, she married into ruins. But I wasn't finished. Daniel fell fast, faster than even I imagined, and when he hit the ground, I was already gone. I had met someone new, a man who saw my silence not as weakness, but as strength. A man with wealth Daniel could never touch, power my sister could never corrupt. We married quietly, away from their noise. My husband became my partner in every sense, and together we built something unshakable. I never flaunted it, never bragged. I waited, because revenge tastes better when it surprises the tongue. And so we arrived here, at my father's funeral. Grief heavy in the air, but her arrogance unbroken. Even in mourning, she couldn't resist reminding me of what she stole. "Poor you," she said, her diamond-heavy fingers tightening around her clutch. I got the man, the money, the mansion. Her smirk was sharp enough to cut glass. She wanted to see me flinch. Instead, I leaned closer. My whisper was steady, measured. "Have you met my husband?" I didn't need to raise my voice. I didn't need to explain. Because the moment he stepped forward, tall, composed, radiating the kind of authority Daniel only pretended to have, her face drained of color. She knew. In that instant, she knew. Her smile vanished. Her hands trembled against the clutch. Daniel stood in the corner, broken, ignored, a shadow of the man he once was. She had chosen ashes over fire, ruins over empire. And I had rebuilt, risen higher than they ever imagined. No pity, just the quiet satisfaction of justice. Betrayal doesn't always end in screaming matches or shattered glass. Sometimes it ends in silence, in a smile, in the tremble of the hands that once stole from you. I buried my father that day, and with him I buried the last of my pain. She had taken my fiance. I had taken her future. And as my husband placed his arm around me, grounding me in strength and love, I whispered inside my mind the words I would never say aloud. You thought you won, but I never play to win. I play to end.